Most real estate agent websites suck. Why? Because they're useless. They're just pictures of them and information, and it's just pointless. You should be having stuff on your website that draws people in, that brings them in as leads, and you can potentially turn them into clients. Let's talk about it. What's up guys, Louis Gall again. Welcome back to the channel. Chances are if you're a real estate agent, your website sucks. It may look good, it may be like super nice looking, all chic and clean and all the bells and whistles, but as far as bringing you business, what's it actually doing? So there are a bunch of things that people are missing out on and aren't really thinking about when it comes to the website. You know, yeah, of course, it's nice to have a nice website where people can go and look, and you know, it looks all, you know, nice and fancy, but it's not actually actively working for you around the clock. And that's what you really want. You want your website to be like a 24-hour business card that's bringing you in leads that you can potentially turn into clients. So what are the key features that you're going to need for your website if you want to scale online? So I'm going to let you in on a secret. If you go to Mackenzie and I's website, thegaltgroup.com, I'll put the link in the description. We made this mistake as well. We have a beautiful website. It's super nice and it's all looking good and built out, but that part of it doesn't actually do us any good. It's the other part. If you go to home search tab, it takes you to a whole nother website, which is the one that we should just be using all the time. For whatever reason, that one's still up, but the one we use mostly and the one we send out to people to look at is our front-facing website with the IDEX. So yes, having a brand and like looking good and looking professional is great, but the biggest thing you need from the start is a built-in IDEX feed. And what is that? It means that the MLS that you're a part of is feeding into your website, so clients can go on there and do a home search straight from there. So they can bypass Zillow, they can bypass the MLS, Realtor.com, whatever it is they were on, they can just jump onto your website. So if they're like, hey, you know, what would I be looking for? How am I going to do a home search? Send them to your website. They can plug in there. It's up to date with the MLS. There's no delay. There's nothing that the information is wrong. So they go straight to your website and use your website like they would do Zillow. So that's the first thing you need, is that IDEX feed inside your website. And the next thing you're going to need is a pop-up to capture lead information. So in my website, people can go on, I think they can look at 2 properties before it pops up. A lot of people use one. So like if someone goes onto the website, click on a house, before they can see the house information, it pops up to get their name, email, whatever it is, information that you want to capture. And that's fine. It just seems a little grabby for me. So I do it with 2. So if I have a Facebook lead or whoever jumps onto the website and they start browsing, I'll let them look at 2 houses, and if they look at 1 more, then they'll have to put in their information from there. And I play with this here and there to see what the kind of numbers look like when you shift it. It's not a massive shift, but I feel like 2 properties is great. So after they look for 2 properties, it'll come up, it'll capture their lead, and that will go straight into my CRM. And of course, from the CRM, you can dig in and do all your automation, set them up on a home search, and do all that stuff to try and convert them into an appointment. The next thing you need is going to be for sellers. You want a home valuation page. Now, I've shown you guys the squeeze pages on KV Core, how to use that to get seller leads. It's the same thing. A home valuation is when they just click on it, they put in their address, and it will send them the information about their home. Again, they're going to have to put in their information, so we capture that lead, and then we can start marketing to them as sellers. Now, it's a little bit different. Buyers, you're kind of hitting a little quicker to make sure you can get them out. Sellers, you might be just setting them up on a market report, or you might be send them out. If you've got their address, you can send them out some flyers or whatever about just solds. So it's a little bit different, but you want a home valuation page so people can go ahead, enter their information, and then you know that they are a seller thinking about their home in terms of value that you can start marketing to. Okay, the next one is a blog feature, and people don't really do that many blogs these days. Actually, sitting down writing is kind of tough, but you can use it for YouTube videos like you're watching right now. So I can just put all these videos into my blog feature. It just means that, you know, if someone's on the website, they see blog, they can click it, and then all, you know, the information's there. The nice thing about doing it with video is that they get to know, like, and trust you. You know, if it's just text, it's like, okay, whatever, are they going to spend that amount of time? But if they see your face, talking about relevant information for them, for the market, all that good stuff, then it will help the know, like, trust factor, and chances are you'll be able to convert them a little bit easier if they've seen some of those videos. So a blog feature is key for your website to give it your personality and your spin on everything. And the last one that you really want on there is an About Me tab. So, you know, with these ones, sometimes you'll click on an agent's website, About Me, and it'll be like an essay about their life, you know, like, I grew up here and, you know, it was a tough, it was like, yeah, listen, no one cares. They just want to know about your professional record. Maybe a couple sentences about your background. You know, I always put, obviously, that I came from Scotland because, you know, there's this romanticism with like Scotland, Ireland, all this stuff that people are like, oh, that's really cool. It's not that cool, but I use it to my advantage. So I put on there, obviously, I'm an immigrant from Scotland, blah, 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 blah. And then I go into the actual real estate message. And obviously Mackenzie's message, she's a native here in Denver, which is few and far between. So we have this kind of real cool, like, chemistry of, you know, the immigrant plus the person who grew up here and how we work together inside of this market. So it's just a little bit of a reeling them in. You don't want to make it too big, too long. You also want to intrigue them to learn a little more about you. Don't give them your whole life story. Just put in there what you do, how badass you are, and a little bit about you, and that is perfect. So for me, that's everything that you're looking for a website. Like I said, you can check out ours. You can go to thegolfgroup.com. That is like the that's kind of like the one I'm telling you not to do. If you go home search, is the one that I'm telling you to do. But we are switching it up kind of as we speak, so you can check that out and see what I'm talking about. We did a video on CRMs last week, and obviously one of those is having your front-facing website. So if you've got KV Core or you've got Follow Up Boss, I think, or Ylopo, or some of these ones, they have a built-in front-facing website. I know CRM Grow is coming out with that as well. So it's a huge thing. If you're choosing a CRM, make sure they do that as well, and they have the IDEX feed, so you can go ahead and put that in. So there you go. That's the big things on your website. Website is your online presence. It's everything. If you're pushing traffic towards there from Facebook ads, from Google ads, from whatever you're doing, like that, you want that to be that one-stop shop where it paints a picture of who you are. It also captures your leads, and it gives them value from the blogs as well. So don't sleep on that one. It is a big deal. That is your online presence. That is like them window shopping for you. Set yourself apart. Make sure you get that all done properly. All right, if you have any questions, as always, drop some comments below. If you haven't done, subscribe to the channel. We'd love to have you on this journey. I'll see you on the next one.